The summer transfer window has closed. What an insane window it was, guys. Especially in the Premier League, clubs spent so much money and brought in so many new players. That entire Alexander Isak drama, then Visa forcing his move out of Brentford to join Newcastle. Mark Gahey thought he was joining Liverpool, but then Crystal Palace blocked the move, so he stayed. Garnacho joined Chelsea. Xavi Simons and Randall Kolo Muani went to Tottenham. Jadon Sancho to Aston Villa. Manchester United buying a brand new goalkeeper. I mean, I could go on and on and on. It was absolutely insane. There are so many new players in the Prem this season now. So today, because the transfer window is officially shut, we are going to sim the 25-26 Premier League season with all the new signings, all the new transfers 5 times. We're gonna sim the 25-26 season over and over and over again to see who will win the Premier League the most, who will win the FA Cup the most, who will win the Carabao Cup the most. We will also keep track of which clubs get relegated the most and which player wins the most Golden Boot awards. This should be fun because right now the Premier League, it looks so unpredictable. Liverpool for sure should be considered one of the favorites to win the Premier League this season, but what about Arsenal? What about Spurs with their new signings? What about Manchester City? Are they still in the conversation? And when it comes to relegation, I am just really not sure anymore. Sunderland, I think they might stay up. Let's go, boys, to the end of the 25-26 season. Simulation 1. Who is winning some silverware? Who is getting relegated? Who is winning the Golden Boot? All right, guys, we're at the end of the 25-26 season first simulation. Are we gonna have any surprises? And you know what? We actually will. Spurs win the Premier League by 3 points over Manchester City. Arsenal is in third, and Liverpool came in fourth. The signings of Xavi Simons and Randall Kolo Muani, they did it for Tottenham. They got themselves a Premier League title. Truly an underwhelming campaign for Liverpool. We got Chelsea in 5th, Newcastle, then Aston Villa, Man United actually in 8th place. That's not too bad. This is the rest of the table. Nottingham Forest in 9th, then it's Fulham, West Ham. I told you Sunderland would stay up. Sunderland is in 12th, then it's Palace, Burnley, Leeds. All 3 newly promoted sides stay up. Who went down? Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. Why Bournemouth? Bournemouth is doing so well. In the first sim, Brighton also had a terrible campaign. They avoided relegation on goal difference. So we know who won the Prem in the first sim and the 3 clubs that got relegated in the first sim. Off to the Cups, the FA Cup semi-finals in first sim. Spurs versus Bournemouth, Liverpool versus Chelsea. It was Spurs versus Liverpool, and Liverpool, I guess they got some sort of consolation. They won the FA Cup. And your Carabao Cup first sim semi-finals, Brentford versus Chelsea, so another relegated side in a semi-final of a cup competition. And then Liverpool versus Spurs once again. Liverpool won it on aggregate, but Liverpool couldn't win the Carabao Cup. Chelsea wins it in simulation 1. And your Golden Boot winner in simulation 1, Erling Haaland, 23 goals in 38 appearances, followed by Ollie Watkins. Tiani Reinders as a midfielder completely popped off, 22 goals, followed by Saka, Martinelli, Xavi Simons for Spurs, he scored 20. Ryan Cherki also scored 20. Then it is Florian Wirtz, Morgan Rogers, and Zeki Amdouni from Burnley. Brian Brobby also had a killer season at Sunderland, scoring 15, while Alexander Isak for Liverpool only scored 12 in 38 appearances. We've seen what happens in Sim 1. We're going back to the beginning, the start of the 25-26 season, Sim 2. Simulation 2 of the 25-26 Premier League season, boys. What do we got? Did Spurs win it again? No, they did not. Did Liverpool win it? No, they didn't. It was Arsenal, 79 points ahead of Liverpool by 5 points. Chelsea in 3rd, Man City in 4th, then it's Villa, then it's Newcastle, and Spurs in the second simulation of the same season finished in 7th, with West Ham climbing into 8th spot. Man United in 9th, Burnley avoid relegation. Fulham, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Bournemouth avoids relegation, so does Everton. They both got relegated in the first sim. Then it is Sunderland, who also avoid relegation, but Brentford does not. They are relegated once again alongside Nottingham Forest, which is a massive surprise for me, and Leeds United. We got a brand new Premier League winner in Arsenal in the second simulation, but Brentford has been relegated in back-to-back sims. Will we have brand new FA Cup and Carabao Cup winners in simulation number 2? The FA Cup semi-finals, Villa versus Luton Town, while Manchester City lost to Middlesbrough. So Middlesbrough went to the FA Cup final against Aston Villa, but they couldn't hang. And Aston Villa, after a pretty disappointing start IRL, they actually won a trophy. They won the FA Cup in Sim 2. And we come to the Carabao Cup in simulation 2. It is Spurs versus Manchester City, while Newcastle faced Liverpool. What a matchup that would be. Newcastle versus Liverpool. Isak faces his old club. The final was Liverpool versus Spurs, and Liverpool win a trophy in Sim 2, but it's only the Carabao Cup. Yeah, Liverpool has won a trophy in the first 2 simulations, but they haven't won the most important one, the Prem. And now we come to the Golden Boot winner of the 25-26 season in simulation 2. Guess who? It is Bukayo Saka with 24 goals, and Gabriel Martinelli is in second with 22, but Xavi Simons from Spurs is up there once again. He scored 21, and Ollie Watkins scored 20, with Alexander Isak scoring 20 as well. Cody Gakpo had 20. Callum Wilson for West Ham United scored 18. Erling Haaland, disappointing campaign, only scoring 18. There is Anthony Gordon. He also had 18, and Ryan Cherky also had 18. Harry Wilson for Fulham. That's a really good season for him. 17 goals. Florian Wirtz, 17. Visa for Newcastle had 15. Tiani Reinders still as a midfielder, popping in some bangers. 14 goals. Joao Pedro for Chelsea had 14. Palmer with 13. Amdouni with 13. Igor Jesus for Nottingham Forest with 12. Brennan Johnson for Spurs with 12. And Morgan Rogers also had 12 for Villa. Restarting once again, simulation 3 of the 25-26 season, where we really haven't come to any conclusions yet. We've given out 6 trophies, but we've had 5 different winners. This is the end of the 25-26 Premier League campaign, simulation number 3. Did Liverpool manage to win the Premier League, guys? They failed in the first 2 simulations, and they failed in the 3rd simulation as well. Manchester City 27-8-3 on 89 points, once again above Liverpool, who finished in 2nd on 81 points. Then it is Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, and Manchester United once again get back into a top 8 finish. Brighton in 9th, West Ham, Fulham, Nottingham Forest survive. Then it's Palace and Leeds United and Burnley, both of them survive. Wolves survive. Sunderland survives. Bournemouth, Everton, and Brentford. It's the same 3 clubs from the first simulation. I'm genuinely surprised that Bournemouth is getting relegated 2 out of the first 3 sims. Even Everton and Brentford, I mean IRL, do you think they stay up? Because here, 3 out of 3 sims, they're going down. We go to the FA Cup in simulation number 3. Your semi-finals, Arsenal versus Aston Villa, Chelsea versus the relegated Brentford. They went to a semi-final and they lost it. The final, the FA Cup final, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Arsenal won the FA Cup. That is Arsenal's 2nd trophy in 3 simulations. They won the Premier League in Sim 2 and now the FA Cup in Sim 3. We go to the Carabao Cup in simulation number 3, and Middlesbrough is again in a semi-final, but they lost to Arsenal. Sunderland went to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. They lost to Liverpool. The final was Arsenal versus Liverpool. Arsenal couldn't win the Carabao Cup like they did the FA Cup. Liverpool wins a trophy for the 3rd season in a row, but it's always been a cup so far. Let's take a look at the Golden Boot winner in Season 3. Wow. Alexander Isak. He popped off, guys. Maybe 3rd time's the charm. 31 goals in 38 appearances, clear of everyone else. Erling Haaland had 26. Martinelli, still surprisingly, had 24. Xavi Simons is performing very well for Spurs. He had 20 once again. Then it is Ollie Watkins with 19, rounding off the top 5. There's Visa for Newcastle and Anthony Gordon. Well, they complement each other well like this, like they did here. Then it's Victor Gyökeres. He had 18. Tiani Reinders still scoring for Manchester City. Bukayo Saka. Igor Thiago for the relegated Brentford side. He had 16 goals. It wasn't good enough. Igor Jesus from Forest. He had 15. Randall Kolo Muani from Spurs. He also had 15. Then it is Cherky. Benjamin Šeško had 15 for Manchester United. Iliman and Diai, 15 goals for Everton. Florian Wirtz had 14. Then it is Morgan Rogers. Justin Kluivert for Bournemouth with 13. And Mateus Cunha rounded off the top 20, also with 13 goals for Man U. So Man City win the Prem in simulation 3. Arsenal win the FA Cup. Liverpool wins a 3rd trophy in a row. And Alexander Isak wins the Golden Boot. Yet the failure for Liverpool to win the Premier League in the first 3 simulations is quite concerning. Sim 4, Liverpool, I'm looking at you. Can you win the Premier League? Yes. Simulation 4, Liverpool. They win the Prem, guys. 83 points, 6 points above Man City. Then it is Chelsea. Then it is Arsenal, Villa in 5th, Newcastle, Spurs, and Manchester United once again get back into the top 8. Burnley, in 9th place. Palace, West Ham, Brighton, Forest, Fulham, Wolves, Sunderland avoid relegation once again. I told you guys, Sunderland, I think they're going to avoid relegation IRL. Bournemouth stays up. Everton, Brentford, and Leeds United. Everton and Brentford again. This has to be a sign, Brentford. And I'm genuinely shocked at Everton. I can't believe they've been getting relegated so much in this video. So Liverpool finally lift the Premier League title in Simulation 4 of the 25-26 season. Can they do even more, though? Can they win one of the cups? Maybe both cups. The FA Cup semi-finals, Arsenal versus Leeds, Newcastle versus Aston Villa. So no, Liverpool. It was Arsenal versus Newcastle, and Arsenal won the FA Cup. And then we go to the Carabao Cup in Simulation number 4. City versus Burnley. Burnley had a very impressive campaign in Sim 4. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Arsenal once again go to a final, but they lose the Carabao Cup to Manchester City. Even though out of the first 4 simulations of the 25-26 season, Liverpool has only lifted the Premier League once, they've still been probably the most impressive side. They've won a trophy in every single sim. After that, it probably has to be Arsenal. They've won a trophy 3 out of the first 4 simulations. Let's see who won the Golden Boot in Simulation number 4. It's Alexander Isak once again. 29 goals and 38 appearances for the Premier League trophy winning Liverpool. Then it's Ollie Watkins with 27. Haaland had a good campaign with 25. Johan Visa, 20. Bukayo Saka had 20. Brian Brobby popped off 20 goals. Martinelli is there. Florian Wirtz with 19. Xavi Simons continues to impress, 18 goals. Noah Okafor for Leeds United had 17, although it didn't help. They got relegated still. Victor Gyökeres had 16. Anthony Gordon, Ryan Cherky had 15. Igor Jesus staying pretty consistent at Nottingham Forest. He had 14. Harry Wilson for Fulham, 14. Randall Colomowani at Spurs also popped in with 14. Then it is Cole Palmer. Arkadiusz Milik for Wolves. I guess they bought Milik. They bought Milik. He scored 13 goals for them, and they avoided relegation. Cody Gakpo with 13. And the final one was Brennan Johnson with Spurs, who also had 13. I don't know. Isak is starting to take over at Liverpool, man. The last 2 simulations, he's been so dominant. All right, my friends. Simulation number 5 of the 25-26 Premier League campaign. Who is winning it? Arsenal is winning it. 1 point over Newcastle United. Manchester City in 3rd, then it's Spurs and Aston Villa, and then it is Liverpool only on 68 points. Man United above Chelsea. What a weird 5th simulation. That Crystal Palace, West Ham, Forest, Leeds stay up. Everton and Brentford stay up. Burnley stays up. Brighton, Wolves, Sunderland, and Bournemouth are the 3 clubs that go down. Nah, man. 5th simulation is extremely weird. I cannot take the 5th simulation seriously, guys. None of this is happening. Except maybe Wolves and Sunderland go down, but I don't even think Sunderland go down, like I said. And Liverpool for sure aren't finishing in 6th. Nevertheless, we go forward, my friends. The FA Cup winner in simulation number 5. The semi-final, Spurs versus Arsenal. Sunderland versus Nottingham Forest. Forest went to the FA Cup final, but they lost it 1-0 to Arsenal. Arsenal actually did the double in Sim 5. And the Carabao Cup in simulation number 5. Spurs versus Liverpool, and Spurs beat Liverpool. Aston Villa versus Man United. Aston Villa beat Manchester United, and then Spurs beat Villa on penalties to win the Carabao Cup. Only a 2nd trophy for Tottenham in the 5 simulations. They won the Premier League in Sim 1 and the Carabao Cup in Sim 5. Your Golden Boot winner in simulation number 5. It is not Alexander Isak, it is actually Erling Haaland. 35 goals. That's insane in 38 matches. Xavi Simons, 25 goals. He was in 2nd. Then it is Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. To be fair, Wirtz and Isak both had incredible seasons. Anthony Gordon had 20 as well. Brian Brobby had 20 for Sunderland. Cole Palmer had 20. Gyökeres, Noah Okafor, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka. Visa had 15. Ollie Watkins had 14. Randall Colomowani had 14 as well. Then it is Cherky for Manchester City. Morgan Rogers in 16th. Emil Smith-Rowe. What a surprising campaign. 13 goals for Fulham. Benjamin Šeško had 13 for Man United. Callum Wilson had 12 for West Ham. And the top 20 is rounded off by Harry Wilson from Fulham. He had 12. I think we got to do one more simulation, guys, because the Premier League was just not realistic whatsoever in Sim 5. Arsenal and Spurs winning the cups and Haaland winning the Golden Boot, definitely realistic. But the relegated sides, Liverpool finishing in 6th, I just can't take that seriously. One more sim. Simulation number 6, my friends. We are at the end of the 25-26 season once again. Liverpool, no, Manchester City. 79 points, 1 point above Arsenal, and 8 points above Liverpool, who finish in 3rd. Spurs get into the top 4. Newcastle in 5th. Chelsea, Villa, and Fulham actually get into the top 8. Sunderland, man. Sunderland. Are they staying up this year? It just feels like it, right? Crystal Palace, then it's Man United, Forest, and West Ham, and Burnley also stayed up. Brighton in 15th. Leeds stay up once again. Everton. There goes Brentford. There goes Bournemouth. And there go Wolves. Wolves and Brentford being relegated, I think that's quite accurate. They will be battling relegation this year for sure. But Bournemouth, absolutely not. Not my cherries. We go to the FA Cup in simulation number 6. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have been done simulation number 6. Your semifinals of the FA Cup in Sim 6 of the 25-26 season. This season, the first semifinal, Luton Town versus Burnley. The other semifinal, Everton versus Bournemouth. Okay, that one maybe can happen. But Luton Town versus Burnley, and Luton goes to the FA Cup final, and they win the FA Cup over Everton? Simulation number 6, Luton Town FA Cup winners. League 1, Luton Town. I can't with FC 25. I can't anymore. I just can't do it. All right, what about the Carabao Cup in Sim 6? This is a bit more realistic. Man United versus Man City. Man City go to the final. Arsenal versus Leeds. Arsenal goes to the final. Man City versus Arsenal. Man City does the double. They win the Carabao Cup. And your Golden Boot winner in simulation number 6, Alexander Isak. 28 goals in 38 appearances. He does it again. Ollie Watkins in 2nd. Erling Haaland in 3rd with 25. Then it is Xavi Simons for Spurs, man. He's been very good this entire video. Victor Gyökeres gets into the top 5 with 21. Then it is Saka, Wissa, Gordon. Šeško had 17. Rodrigo Muniz had 17 for Fulham. Martinelli, João Pedro, Randall Kolo Muani, Mohamed Salah only had 14. Noah Okafor had 14 as well. Amad Diallo had scored 14 for Manchester United. Then it is Florian Wirtz, Tiani Reinders, Cody Gakpo with 13 goals. And rounding off the top 20, it is Brian Brobby. We did 6 simulations of the 25-26 Premier League campaign. Manchester City won it twice. Arsenal won it twice. Spurs won it once, and Liverpool won it once. In the FA Cup, Arsenal won it 3 times. Then Aston Villa won it, Liverpool won it, and Luton Town. While the Carabao Cup, Liverpool won it twice. Manchester City won it twice. We had Chelsea win it once, and Spurs as well. The most relegated side out of the 6 simulations were Brentford. They got relegated 5 out of the 6 sims. While the Golden Boot, as expected, it went to Isak in 3 of the 6 sims, followed by Haaland by 2, and Bukayo Saka had 1. Let me know down in the comments which simulation you found the most realistic. Was it simulation number 4 where Alexander Isak completely popped off? Liverpool won the Premier League, Arsenal won the FA Cup, and then Manchester City won the Carabao Cup. And also let me know which 3 sides you think are going down to the championship after this season and why you think they're going down. Will Sunderland, Burnley, and Leeds be able to stay up in the Premier League this year? Or maybe only one of them stay up. Like I said before in this entire video, I think Sunderland do stay up this season, guys. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed just yet with a little noti bell. FC 26 is coming so soon. I am truly excited to get into the swing of things. So take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of each other. Stay happy, stay healthy, stick around, and I'll see you in the next couple of days. Peace, 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 peace. Love you as always. Peace.